New message from Hajima Industries.
Owie!
I'll worry about it later. I don't take orders from the main office. I've got a research subject to catch. The 5th is heading out. I don't care if we have to step on the 8th's toes. We will secure that infernal.
Hello everybody, Megazard X here, and today I'm going to be reviewing the 4th episode of Fire Force called The Hero and the Princess. And if you haven't already checked out my episode 3 review of Fire Force, you can go ahead and click that card in the right hand corner up there and check that video out, and then come back and watch this video. And man, there's a whole bunch of info that is going on behind the scenes in this Fire Force companies, and we only got to get a little bit of taste of it in this week's episode. And the introduction to Company's 8th leader was truly, something. Let's just leave it at that at best. So I'll be going over all of the details as we finally conclude the introduction arc. So go ahead and relax and grab a water, grab some snacks as we get ready to go over this latest episode of Fire Force.
Object approaching subject at high speed.
From the Ajola pattern, I believe it is the 3rd generation fire soldier from the 8th.
Gravel from the 8th's interfering.
At the near beginning of the episode, we see a new lady with a bunch of fire soldiers watching the news report of a unique kind of infernal, and instantly she demands that they must go out and fetch it so they can use it as part of their experiment data. Then we are rewinded to an earlier time within this episode. Akitaru is talking to Shinra about how the news didn't mention a word about the Rookie Fire Soldier Games incident, as well as the Joker, and this causes Shinra to believe that could it be possible for the Fire Force could actually be hiding something. Then the two are interrupted by Takehise, who comes in to report the results of the research of the explosive substance Joker was using at the scene. Shinra, Arthur, and Maki are seen working in the office when the brigade gets a call in the form of a request to rescue Mamoru, who was seen stuck in a tree. At the scene, determined to help him, Shinra rescues the dog. Mamoru tells him about the trial of the release of the convict Sesto Miyamoto will be held in the courtroom. The prisoner gets paroled due to claims of psychological trauma, and as soon as he gets out, the man turns into a flame human. Maki reports the incident to Akitaru, who wonders where Shinra and Arthur could be, while the two fire soldiers give out balloons to fans of Mamoru. Setsuo uses his newly acquired powers to kill innocent people. In the meantime, Arthur and Shinra notice the Matchbox passing through, with Takehise announcing to the public that the flame human was awakened. From inside the vehicle, Takehise scolds the two fire officers for wandering off and promises to punish them, when Maki apologizes to the two for getting them in such a mess to even begin with. Shinra gives the balloons to Mamoru and uses his ability to fly and catch up to the moving vehicle, with Arthur jumping on Shinra to grab a lift. Takehise informs the two of a flame human was spotted in the courthouse and tells him to go on ahead, while the rest of the brigade will catch up with them soon. In the courthouse, Setsuo grabs the lawyer, telling him that his life now belongs to the flame human. From out of the blue, Arthur and Shinra attack Setsuko, while Arthur delivering a backwards fist. The two of them perform a collaborative attack. Realizing this predicament, the flame human tries to surrender, hoping that his life will be spared, but is shot by Takehise. In retaliation, he uses his flames to distract the man, allowing himself to run away. Setsuo then promises the brigade that he will kill innocent people, just like the special fire brigades kill flame humans. In order to deal with this threat, Takehise and Akitaru ask Shinra to catch up with the flame human, using his ability to dispose of him, which Shinra promises to do in order to save the lives of innocent people. Setsuo arrives at the crowded location, throwing the general public into a frenzy. It didn't take long for Shinra to arrive at the scene. Setsuo agrees that he was the right to kill the people, as he had saved a larger quantity of people during his time as a firefighter. He then picks up a vehicle and throws it at him, but Shinra manages to kick the car up into the air and then leaps up and kicks the car back towards the guy, barely missing the fire human, much to the shock and horror of the flame human.
That isn't even close to the number I saved! Who the hell is this guy?
In the meantime, the 5th Special Fire Brigade are seen watching the fight between the two from the sidelines. Shinra begins praying for Setsuo's soul as he walks towards him with the dedication to end the man's life. However, the flame human decides the luxury of having a sister pray for his soul. Using such a plea as a distraction, Setsuo attempts to attack Shinra from behind his back, but the fire officer quickly reacts to such an attempt and cuts off one of the flame human's arms with a fiery kick. As Shinra prepares to end Setsuo's life for a second time, Princess Hibana, the battalion commander of the 5th Special Fire Brigade, jumps in to protect the flame human from further jeopardy, as she wants to take in the flame human for herself. As Setsuo Miyamoto gets taken away by the 5th Special Fire Brigade, Hibana glares at Shinra, causing him to collapse to the ground. The 5th Brigade's battalion commander tells her subordinates, the 3 angels of the 5th, to hold Shinra down while Hibana lectures him on how to be respectful towards superiors. The woman orders Shinra to lick her shoe, as Shinra acknowledges that he had done was rude and apologizes. However, the woman refuses to listen and repeats her order. Shinra looks up to see the woman's face, which causes him to notice Hibana's underwear. He stands up and challenges the 5th Special Fire Brigade to a fight as the 8th Special Fire Brigade arrives at the scene. Hibana explains that she wishes to capture the sentient flame human for research, to which Akitaro responds by asking whether the information will be shared amongst the Special Fire Brigades. Hibana smiles and agrees, though Akitaro sees through her deceit. Toru then mocks Akitaro for not having the fire manipulation abilities. Shinra and Arthur jump in to back a fight with the boy, but Maki and Takehise carry the two away. Maki then approaches the boy on her own and delivers a corkscrew punch straight to the gut, in action that Takehise praises. An eventual agreement happens between Company 5 and Company 8's commanders, as Company 5 stepped out of their jurisdiction but agreed that they could have the Infernal if they shared their research data with Company 8, and that's where the episode ends. This episode did an exceptional job without wasting any time answering some questions from the previous episode. One of the second major plot points for this anime was the secret why other fire companies were hiding secrets about the knowledge of human combustion, and we finally get to see some of this in action. We are introduced to Company 5 and their commander, Hibana, and this woman definitely has a different aroma about her, as our first introduction to her is her sitting on a bunch of men and literally stepping all over them. While we don't know the motives behind this Company 5 yet, I'm sure more will be revealed within the upcoming episodes, as we're about to draw near the Company 5 versus Company 8 arc. In terms of the animation, we finally get to see more of David Productions' high quality animation, and that one scene of Shinra kicking that car into the air and kicking it back down to the Inferno was really some good stuff. But one interesting thing to note is the new Inferno that appeared from this old fire soldier. So far to this point, we knew Infernals to be nearly mindless creatures that had no sense of direction in life anymore, and that's why they had to lay them to rest, otherwise they would cause harm to the public. However, this is the first new unique cause that we saw in Infernal B that acted the closest thing to a human as well. It would be interesting to see if somebody is actually working in the shadows that is actually causing the human combustion, because this all seems a bit too unnatural for it to just be randomly happen like this. Jumping back to Company 5, it just seems all a bit too suspicious with how quick they wanted to fly in and scoop up this rare infernal to experiment on it. It can definitely tell, or I can certainly tell, that they probably have a better knowledge of infernals than our Company 8, but this just goes to show how far and lacking Company 8 is in terms of infernal knowledge and knowledge of other companies they need to get to learn. They don't even have their own research team, unfortunately.
You must know you're in the 8's jurisdiction, yet it feels like you're trying to call the shots.
Legally, this man has been deceased since the moment he transformed. You could extinguish him and return him to ash, but you'll agree that this corpse would be easier to study in its current state. And the 8th is a newer company. I'm told that you've yet to recruit a science team.
But one thing is for certain is that there is a whole lot of mystery and misconceptions going on in potentially all of the fire companies as a whole, and it will take quite a bit of time to unravel all of the truth. And that is all from our 4th review of the 4th episode, so I hope you really enjoyed it. If you hadn't already done so, make sure you hit that like button if you like this video, and hit that subscribe button and that bell to keep up to date on all things Fire Force I am currently reviewing and discussing this season. I'm also curious to hear your thoughts as well as your predictions over what could be coming into the future down in the comment sections below, so just let me know about all of your potential thoughts with that. Also, if you want to check me out on social media, you can also follow me on Twitter at Megazard_X just to keep up with what I'm talking about from day to day live. Also, down in the description below, I share my ideal upload schedule in terms of what I'm planning on releasing all of my anime reviews. So you can go ahead and check that down in the description box below for all of that info. So make sure to tune in next time for my review of episode 5, The Battle Begins. So until whatever video I make next, see ya.
A quick warning. If a brave little firefighter should stick his nose where it doesn't belong, he'll run the risk of being extinguished himself.
Well, thanks for the tip. It sounds like I've been blowing smoke in somebody's face. Thing is, my flame is Company 8's and it won't go out easy.
Special Fire Force Company 5, we're leaving.